Listen to the voice of Buddha saying stop your sericulture. Little people like your asking Buddha, the sun god studying Buddhas, watching Buddhas waiting. Just because the kid's an orphan, there's no excuse for thoughtless saying. People don't forget this torture. Just because you call her mother doesn't mean that she's your better.
Coming soon to this theater.
She is alive and will grow to be 15 feet tall. With teeth and talons that are razor sharp, with flesh twisted and warped. She will kill. She will find you. Prophecy, the monster movie, rated PG.
Now playing Ross Quince Orchard, KB Janis, Dale Cinema, White Flint.
Welcome back to the Drive-In Asylum double feature. Even though every single title on these videos this evening has said Drive-In Asylum late movie, because I forgot to change it from last week, which was a late movie. Tonight you got two of them, the second of which was The Evil, and we're anxious to know what all of you thought, especially those of you who were seeing it for the first time. Yeah. Is The Evil worthy? What do you think,
I gotta
Sam?
tell you, this time watching The Evil, I got total. Well, I know this was made before it, but fits well into the Fulci cycle of House by the Cemetery and the Beyond, especially the ending. Has a lot of even that hole that they climb in through the basement reminds me a lot of the Beyond.
Your mic seems a little low. If you can turn it up a little bit.
Let me see here.
Just
How's
a little bit.
That better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, I had a lot of the Beyond thoughts this time as I watched it. With the hole in the basement that they kind of came through, especially the ending in like the all white field, and House by the Cemetery. But I really dug it. It's nobody has a plan to get out. I mean, what do you do? You know.
I mean, it's better than just sitting there and waiting to get picked off by the evil, which seemed to happen all the time in this movie, that everyone's like, I just got to go hook this cable up again. It'll take me 1 minute.
And then or Andrew Bryan being like, I'm out of here. And he runs right into quicksand.
Oh, yeah. God, that was kind of freaky. It looked like he could have just reached behind him and pulled himself out. But
yeah, he was kind of panicking a little bit, I think. But, what can you do?
I can't say how I would react to quicksand. Well,
No,
especially since I get apparently there's no such thing.
no. I mean, how do you react to it? You know?
I don't know.
Yeah. It is. We won't know until we're actually in the situation, I guess.
Yeah, I hope to never find out.
Yeah. Is that mic picking up good enough now?
It's a little bit better.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Let me move it over here a little bit. How's that? Yep.
I do love this fancy mic that you got and how it can change colors.
Yeah, that's the raddest part of it, huh? Oh, now it's green. Oh, but you can hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Okay. Awesome.
So the thing that really creeps me out about this, I'm very creeped out by the idea of a sub basement. Because why? Why is there a sub basement? Why is there something down there? I would be very nervous about that.
Yeah, I'm glad that I live in the house that I do after watching this movie, especially because I don't have like I have a finish. I think I will never not have a finished basement after watching this movie. I don't want. Do you know what I mean? Like I need the stability of a finished basement. And
Well, I wondered what was so dirty in that basement because there was 2 or 3 inches of soil on top of that door. But
yeah,
that was probably by design
yeah,
so that no one would ever go there again.
yeah. Also, I don't pretend to know what the devil's thinking, but wouldn't the devil want somebody that believed in God to take over their soul versus somebody that didn't care at all about their soul? And as he said, I've made what did he say? He said, I've made parlor party jokes about about this kind of thing. Like, why wouldn't he?
Whose parlor party does he go to?
I know, right? And it's like, ugh, I'm going to give this a very guy review. Pettit, Joanne Pettit is incredibly attractive in this movie, and looks great in bell bottoms. 5 out of 5.
Was she as fashionable as, say, Joan Collins
No,
in The Devil Within Her?
never. No, no one will hit that. She also she's fine. She's very subdued by comparison to the normal, the Joan Collins that I love that are just giving it all as a giant plastic bug rubs against her. I don't think she'd be able to do that part. She's fine for this movie though. I love Bill that you called out when the caretaker got burned up. You're like, oh, here's where they put in the flame suit. It's like it's not even like
Yeah.
a easy cut.
I mean, I don't want to knock that effect because it's pretty startling, but it's hard not to notice that he's in a fire suit. It's like
Yeah,
Michael Myers at the end of Halloween 2. Suddenly his clothes got super, super thick.
yeah, yeah. I would probably like. I love Victor Buono, but I would probably like this movie better if it didn't have the devil in it. Like if it was just like that, the house was fucking crazy. Like it, I don't know. This is coming from someone that loves all satanic movies. So what do I know? This
It
movie,
provides an explanation where there really shouldn't be one,
yeah, everybody
I
should go out
think.
in the yard and the rain should melt them. That's the ending that I'm here for.
Or they just walk away from the house in the rain laughing mysteriously and we
Uh,
don't know
y-
why.
yeah, as they get out of the house at the last minute. Oh,
As it burns and screams come out of the windows behind them, they're just
that's a whole
laughing.
genre of movies of a lone woman leaving something that's on fire, sometimes smoking a cigarette. That happens a lot in movies lately. What do you call it? Ready or Not, that happens at the end. Spoiler warning for all these movies. Ready or Not, The Menu. There's a whole bunch of these. Though Ed brought up that this movie really terrified him as a kid. I can 100% see this movie scaring a kid. It's very much like in that world.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus in the chat was that the ending was silly. I don't know. I don't want to talk bad about Victor Buono.
No, I mean it is a silly ending, but Is the Beyond not a silly ending too? Even it's maybe
Yeah.
artier and more lyrical, but you know, this movie should end with a kid on a play gym and the screen just cracks, and that's how a movie should end.
The evil would have benefited if they hadn't escaped at the end. If once they went down into that trap door, like, or if he had to get sealed in, like
Mhm.
she was going to close the door and put the cross in, and he was still down there. That would have given it more of a beyond kind of edge.
Yeah, it this has a more hopeful. We're almost in the '80s, so this has like a hopeful ending. But again, the other thing Bill and I talked about was how odd is it? What are they going to tell everybody's families? Like, well, the house that the devil killed everybody. Like, you don't believe in the devil. You're a
I
teacher.
mean, they're going to have to give somebody an explanation about this.
Yeah, you
The
got some explaining
authorities.
to do, Lucy.
Yeah, and there was a version without the devil in it, supposedly. I've never seen it.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't think I ever saw a version of it. Well, I mean, I saw it on home video and it had the devil in it. I don't know if I watched it on HBO or
Does
not.
the anybody that have the Blu-ray, are they able to tell us whether or not their Blu-ray has an extra scene?
They just cut it out.
Oh, okay. But like if it had like, the other a different cut of it, they sometimes do that on what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
like they could do one of those things where they reprogram the chapters
Yeah.
so that it plays one cut of the movie. That's
y-
pretty intricate.
Yeah. Well, some of the new era ones do that, but maybe the people are like, does anybody really care about the evil that much to give you that? Maybe not. I do. I want that.
I do too.
Yeah.
I want to see all of the evil footage out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I want all of the
I felt
evil.
really bad for the lady who ran back to hook up that cable and ended up electrocuted because the body sat up there. There was a dead body there that sat upright and scared her. She kind of bounced backwards.
Also,
That would happen to me.
there's a couple scenes in here that are for the foreign buyers, like when the wind just rips the one girl's clothes off. Like, oh yeah, that's for
I think that was the same
yeah,
character.
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always Becca always says to me whenever we're watching these movies. Why did that girl have to get naked? And I'm like, well, there were a bunch of guys in Japan that said we're not giving you any money on this movie unless we see a giant worm uh, assault a woman. And once they saw that, they gave them the money. And this one, and they just wanted to see. There was one maniac in Japan. He's like, I want to see wind rip a woman's blouse off. And they're like, we can do that.
Lee, I like your version of the ending better. It sounds more like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
You could go down and Victor Buono would be like, "You lose. You didn't do what you were supposed to do with the cross. You lose. Good day, sir."
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like Eldon said it. It's like the end. It's really setting itself up to be a totally nihilistic movie, with like, especially with like Andrew Prime's character escaping, and getting quicksanded, and the
Yeah.
girl going upstairs and getting caught and killed, and then she just throws a rope to him and he climbs up. You know what I mean? This needed like Elise and the Devil kind of double ending to kind of really get you.
Why was it so easy for them to escape? Because I know she stabbed Victor Buono, which how can you do that? If he's the devil, how are you going to sneak up on the devil and stab him? But she did, and she weakened him, so I presume that's what allowed them
Because
to
she had a
escape.
magic weather van. Oh, sorry, was it a crucifix? Whatever. You know,
It looked like a weather
it
vane,
looked.
yeah.
I'm going to say that it was a weather vane, and they're like just cut it a bit to look like a crucifix. But yeah, but I still like the movie a lot. There's still a lot to like in it, and but the ending could use a little work. As much as I like seeing a devil Victor Buono show up, I mean, that's pretty cool. This ending feels like a Night Train to Terror ending versus like an ending that makes sense in this movie. It feels like, it
Yeah.
feels like him and what's his name on the train playing together.
It's
Yeah,
absurd.
and not George Eastman. It's just absurd. Yeah, but what can you do? I think it would be a better considered movie with a better ending.
Probably if this had been a little more campy, it might be more popular too. Because
Yeah.
it is played kind of straight and serious, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it was campy enough. If there were more moments where you could laugh.
Yeah, even in the beginning, there aren't a lot of campy moments. Like, even in the setup, usually in these movies, there's like a setup for that kind of stuff, and that doesn't even happen here.
Look, I zoomed in on us. Now we're giant.
I know, and I just leaned in on the mic, so I'm like, if you'd like to see my eye, it's a good thing I moisturized my face today, or all my dry skin would be showing up.
It was a concerted effort. Here, I'll put it back the other way.
I like this background, though. Look at this type in the background. This is wonderful.
This is one Andy Moyer did.
Oh, thank you, Andy.
Oh, by the way, how did you like Danger Dave and his
And
light bulb snack?
I always get upset watching it, and he's very talented, but I I have trouble eating potato chips, much less eating a light bulb. So, but it's awesome. I know.
And it was real, by
That's
the
the
way.
thing is like I'm like, is he going to get hurt? And then I have to remind myself that like Bill's not going to play snuff footage, or is he? You know what I mean?
No.
In the beginning, this isn't Cannibal Holocaust.
No, that stunt is performed by someone who knew how to do the stunt.
Yeah.
So don't worry. He's fine.
But I shan't speak ill of Victor Buono anymore. I like him in everything.
I like him in nothing.
I like him in a little tunic.
One of those, like, smoking jackets, smoking jacket robes, but a very ample smoking jacket robe.
I hear you. I get the picture. He was also, yes, Lee's right. He was King Tut on Batman. He's also the accompaniment for Betty Davis and my brain.
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
Thank you. Yeah, my brain is shot tonight. But yeah,
It is the third segment.
it is the third segment. I had a lot of drinks. So, anywho, but yeah, I think that there's a great movie inside here somewhere. It definitely has a lot of jump scares and stuff. Not scares, but just it's got good parts in it.
Victor was in other horror movies. He was in that Meat is Meat.
Oh yeah,
The Mad Butcher. He was also the Strangler. The something Strangler. I forget. I forget what kind of Strangler Victor Buono. It may have just been the Strangler. He played a bunch of creeps.
If only I had a way of looking this up for you, and I could tell you some of the roles.
I think you should.
He was Edwin Flagg in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which earned him an
Right.
Academy Award and Golden Globe mention. He died at 43, which is way younger than I thought he died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Edwin, you forgot your money.
He's in The Strangler. Yes.
Okay, so it was the Strangler.
Yep. He was Big Sam Hollis in Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte. He's in
Big Sam.
He's in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. He plays Fat Man. In that, he's in The Man with the Icy Eyes. The Giallo from 1971, directed by Albert DiMartino. He's in Arnold. How can we forget? He plays the Minister in Arnold, which is coming out on Blu-ray. Bill from Vinegar Syndrome in this year. They announced. He's in Moonchild. And yeah, and obviously a lot of TV, tons of TV. Looking through so many roles. So, yeah, he was also the other thing I wanted to bring up on Joanne Petit. She was on Love Boat and Fantasy Island 3 times each, so she was definitely getting a lot of TV work.
They couldn't get enough of Joanne Pettit.
They couldn't. The one episode of Night Gallery that I brought up, the one with the where the photographer like gets intoxicated by her image, they actually paid for her to go to a really famous portrait photographer, and they shot these huge like life size photos of her. They printed them out. They filled an entire studio, and she said, I should go back and get one of those. And when she went back to get one, the crew had stolen all of them. And she's like, I don't know what they did with them. They're probably up in their garages. Are they, Joanne? But yeah, but she's in 4 of those. She had a lot of work. She was very busy.
They were up in the garages right next to their Farrah Fawcett posters.
They were next to their beer cooler, their beer fridges. Like, let me show you what I got over here. Yeah, Mike, Victor Buono was only 40 years old in The Devil, which is crazy.
Well, he was under several layers of prosthetic eyebrows.
I heard a theory the other day, and I think this is bullshit, but I'll tell it to you anyway, that the Earth is spinning faster, and therefore the years are faster imperceptibly to us. So that's why people look younger today than they do in older films. I think this is total bullshit. I think it's just something somebody made up. So yeah,
That's a tough one to connect the dots on. Yeah.
he actually grew those horns for this movie. Yes.
Oh, it took months, but he was
Yeah.
very committed to this role.
My dad had a horn actually. I'm not making this up. But for some reason he had like a growth here on his forehead, and they thought it was a tumor. It wasn't. It was just like a calcium deposit, but it grew like
Yeah.
a kind of a horn thing here. And he said to me once, he's like, I wish they had grown here and here. It would have looked really cool. Like,
One of my exes had one just like that too.
oh really?
It was kind of like a protrusion that
Yeah.
was growing right along his hairline, so he had to go have it. He had his removed.
Oh man. Now my dad
There,
didn't have
he
this
should have
thing.
just waited for the second one to come in, and then it would have
Yeah.
been complete.
There's some dudes that have paid, to get the metal put in so that the skin grows over it. Ugh, it's creepy. That and tongue bifurcation are the 2 very upsetting things to me. In case you're wondering what creeps me out.
Yeah,
I just
there's
don't.
a lot of things that you can do to your body, and when you're in your 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is for you, but like after I turned 40, things started changing. I was like, boy, I wish I would have been a lot better to my body than I was in my
As
20s and
someone
30s.
that fell on concrete for 25 years, I will say yes. I wish I had treated my body a lot better so that I'm not in near constant pain now. But I did it. There's no taking backsies, right?
That's true. We all have regrets, no matter
Yeah.
what they are.
No regrets. Mike Justice
Mike
regrets
Justice.
having his labia pierced. I know. What can you do though, Mike? I mean, you were young, and
Hasn't it closed up yet, Mike?
it's labia. Mike Justice always keeping his labia wide open for all of us. At least that's what I've
Well,
heard.
it's fancy.
It is. I wanted to tell you, Bill. For those out there that have Tubi, there is a channel on the Roku channel itself, or Roku. Sorry, the Roku channel itself has a channel called Screenflix, which is a Stars channel. Basically, what it is, it's all the channels on Stars that all the movies on Stars that people that watch the show would like, right? So, for example, Scissors is on there right now. So that's the level of quality that
Ooh.
you get on this channel. So I kind of love it. And I've been kind of hunting down new movies to watch on that channel lately. It's only $2.99 a
You
month.
are
too.
looking for more movies to watch.
I am watching. I'm always looking for new movies to watch.
But like, when are you actually watching the movies? I have to understand how you do this.
I watch tons
It's
of
like-
movies. I watch them all day, Bill. I have a constant. Every morning I wake up and I have a schedule. I build out a schedule. Usually tonight I do it. I already did it for the whole week of what I want to hit. I get all the discs or all the digital files or all the streaming locations all marked out. So that way I don't have to spend time hunting down the next movie. Like they're constantly like playing one after the other.
I can't pay attention to more than one thing at one time. At least a movie takes up too much of my attention. And I don't know. Like, Can you go to sleep listening to the radio?
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't go
I
to sleep
can't.
without it.
I seriously can't go to sleep listening to the radio. But I'll never fall asleep if I'm listening to the radio.
You want my weird reason why I can do this?
Why?
Because I read when I was young about how hardcore occult magic users have to create multiple personalities or else they'll burn out their brains. So I was like, what if I could go the opposite way and learn how to pay attention to so many things at once that I've split my brain into multiple capacities where my creative side splits on its own. I have a movie side and it works. I figured out how to do
It took so long for me to figure out what was going on
it.
with you, and now I finally know that on early morning of July 2nd is when I knew
Yeah. That I'm crazy? Yeah.
that you have 7 heads inside one of them.
That's when I wanted to be Buckaroo Banzai as a kid, like, the idea that he could do so many things, so I was like, "How can I undertake the strange logic to do it myself?"
I don't know. I try and do a lot of things at once. I do. I've been learning how to do it, but a movie is just something that pulls me right out. If I don't pay attention to it, I really didn't watch it.
Yeah.
So there's whole parts of it that I didn't see. So I don't know. But I get so overwhelmed sometimes. Like I'm doing a video, and then I'll stop doing putting a video together, and then I'll start working on the magazine, and all these files are in folders on my
Oh,
computer, and I find myself like just staring at the screen every once in a while. Like, what was I looking for? Is
I
this in
have
the video file? Is it in the Drive-In Asylum file? Where is it?
the way that I build out my file folders and all the stuff is so anal retentive that it has to be. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? That I need, like, some kinda organizational
you have
structure.
to.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
otherwise, like, my brain's like that's how I write even for work. Like, I just spent all week working on a this is what I do, real job, air quality index article for United Healthcare this week. And but I learned a lot. Like you've been hearing, I'm sure everybody's been hearing a lot about the AQI and what code numbers, code colors mean. So I wrote about that while I watched other movies. I think that's the thing is like there's what helps is doing film festivals and like almost Sean Midas does this too, like setting up what you're going to watch for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks at a time. It really helps you pick movies, and especially doing stuff like the CBS late movie stuff I'm doing. It's like kind of taking, so not taking the choice up, but I'm trying to replicate what it was like to actually watch those, Bill. Where you didn't know what was going to be
Hmm.
on. So if I have that whole letterbox list tonight at random, pick uh 15 movies for next week from that list, there's a good chance I would never watch some of these movies otherwise. And that's really exciting to me that I'm gonna like expand my mind out and watch these.
Far
I
out.
need to get a month where I literally give people like it's all requests. If I get a big, but I always ask for people to give me stuff and no one ever replies. So then I get like, then I get all self conscious and like nobody cares. So I just end up writing what I write.
You don't need anyone's help to pick movies. God,
It would be nice though, is what I'm saying.
you're running out of them.
No, I worried at one point, will I run out of movies? And I definitely won't. Uh, it'll there's always going to be new weird stuff that you discover. Speaking of one, here's what came in the mail this week. I only got 2 movies this week though. We got This Is What the Waters Left Behind, the sequel, Scars, which is pretty cool. The first one was pretty good, so I'm excited to see the second one. And Bill, I know you also got this. One of our friends sent this to us. Cocaine Shark.
Yes, I got one too.
Yeah, very excited.
Cocaine Shark. I haven't watched it yet. Have you?
No, I have not, so I'm excited for it. I like
Yeah,
the
I am
movie.
gonna watch it one day this week because I'm off all week. So I
Yeah,
got stuff to watch.
I started studying. Eldon said I'm going to become a supercomputer. That's what I wanted to be. Like I watched Soylent Green. You know how like the people in Soylent Green become books. I was dating someone. And she said when the world ends, like we're going to need Wikipedia, so you need to study all these movies and have them in your head. But I don't really know if somebody needs to know the stuff that I like. Like who needs to know this like deep cut of shot on video stuff from 80s stuff.
Somebody needs to know
I
it.
get
There's some you out there that
Yeah.
needs to know it.
I guess it's getting used. I mean, we are getting work out of it, and people come and watch this and listen to me blab on. So thank you for encouraging me.
Sure.
Hopefully, speaking of Bill, and I can't say, but we have another project we're working on. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're working on it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Well, we're doing it tomorrow.
yeah,
So
and it's not. Let me think. What's a good way of saying it? Someone else is making something, and they've asked us to help them with said thing. How about that? This is all over the place.
it's not a commentary track.
No, it's not a commentary track. And it needed a lot of research, and we learned stuff we didn't know about ourselves.
I mean, no, we already knew all this stuff, and we're experts.
Yeah,
That's why we were asked.
yeah,
That sounds like a better story.
yeah. That is how the visual vengeance thing happened. Is I got an email from him, from the owner, and he's like, "As a Bruno Mattei expert, would you be interested, or Mattei expert, would you be interested in doing a commentary on his movies?" And I'm like, and I literally wrote back, "I have never been happier about an email in my entire life. Like this, do you know what I mean? Like, are you catfishing me?"
I think it was the truth.
I don't think anybody else cares about his later movies like The Jail, uh, eh, other than me. Uh, but you know, someone's got to watch all these Jess Franco movies, right? God said, "Let it be Sam." The devil Victor Buono said, "Let it be Sam."
Oh, I hope it was him that said it.
Oh,
I was on his side totally.
yeah.
Hey, I'm in 1979 on the Facebook page on Groovy
Oh,
Doom
yeah.
in Bangor, Maine.
Mm.
I was doing like a simultaneous Texas series, and it was just getting to be too confusing, so I just focused on Bangor for a while.
Let's focus on Banger, Bill.
It's not a bad thing.
No, it never is.
They gave us Steve King.
Steve, I mean, I love Steve King.
Steve, Steve, he's an awesome guy. Steve and I, we were talking the other day. I said, Steve, when are you going to write another book?
Is he friends with Master of Horror Mick Garrison? You have to refer to Mick Garrison
He
as
must be.
Master of Horror. How does he get
Nightwing
his
was
hair so white either? Like I've tried stuff, and my hair remains like kind of dingy and
I don't
brassy.
know.
His hair
Maybe
is
it's a
like
weave.
I think it has to be something because it's super ivory.
It's beautiful, whatever it is.
It is. It is pretty amazing. What do we got up here on the screen here? The Nightwing.
Nightwing, yeah. It was a really big disappointment to me when I saw it. I
You
don't
know,
know what I was thinking, but
I just read somebody wrote something about it, and they're like, I wanted to love Nightwing from the trailers and the posters. It really seemed like it was going to be something, and it just is missing something.
it fizzled. And I begged my grandma to take me to see it, and she did. And I was like, "Did you like it, Grandma?" I was 7 years old.
It has
Or
the
9 years
potential,
old, I guess.
if you saw it at a drive-in, that bats could attack the screen, and that would make it a bit more terrifying.
Truth.
But it's
But, it could
yeah,
have been scarier.
yeah. I've never seen it because I've always heard that it's not that good. So
Oh, you haven't seen it. Well,
no,
probably as an adult, it probably plays a little better. I was an impatient 9-year-old waiting for another
yeah.
bat attack that never came, and it was just, there is no Santa kind of moment.
If you're gonna call your movie Nightwing, it better have a bat attack. Now, speaking of movies that scare people, um,
Yeah.
1979 Dracula scared me as a kid because it was, I think I've talked about it before. It was the first time my mom ever mentioned that a man was attractive other than other than my dad. And I was like, "Oh, my mom's leaving me for Dracula, leaving us for Dracula." So it didn't happen. Obviously, she didn't leave the family for Dracula. There you go. As a kid, I also thought that in the main event that it was a wrestling movie. Obviously, because I'm wrestling obsessed, and I was like, Barbara Streisand's going to wrestle, and I think it would be a better movie if
No.
if she did. Wouldn't that be good?
I think that would, yeah. I don't know. I didn't see the main event. I know I loved the song.
Oh,
No More Tears, Enough is Enough. Or no, wait, it was the main event.
mhm.
Duh. Don't listen to me. And there was another big movie in '79. It got a little ad here, though.
Mm. Little Alien
Yeah.
in
I guess
space.
Dracula, it probably had already been out, and then Dracula
Yeah,
was the new big thing that had to be pushed.
at the Brewer Cinema Center.
Right. I'm amazed that Sidney Sheldon's Bloodline even got on there.
I love that movie. It's kind of giallo-y, and it's super bad. But I mean, isn't that could be 90% of everything I like?
So,
I just
Dracula,
I just saw Mike's thing about cat people, and my brain shut off for a second.
oh yeah, that
We
would be
watched
a
I watched Cat People
scarring
on
movie.
HBO with my parents, and I was ushered out of the room at about 20 minutes before the end. Oh, oh,
This happened in '79 too. They drug
yeah.
out Night of the Demon, which is sadly not the Bigfoot movie, even though this was '79, not '80.
Mhm.
But this was actually The Touch of Melissa,
Mm,
aka The Touch of Satan.
yeah. With
And
yeah.
Sam, what movie was that bottom one there?
Is that Solange?
What have you done to Solange? AKA
Yeah.
the school that couldn't scream.
AKA the Rah Rah Girls.
AKA come teach me.
Uh,
Have
I
you ever
needed
seen that one?
no, I need a T-shirt of that though. That
Come teach me?
yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, now you're gonna make me put an ad up.
yeah.
See, this is something I've been working on too. I have all these ads, but they're also haphazardly
Oh,
saved
yeah,
because I don't file them right away, and I totally should. But I've recently started like just biting the bullet and making albums grouped by
yeah.
movie. If there's like more than one title, you're likely to get into the album. And Solange, of course, was one of those movies I had to give a nice spot in there. So here it is.
Oh my god, I love this so much.
Meet Solange.
Oh my god, I love every part of her said, "Come teach me," and gave her an abortion and killed all her friends. Come see it and hang out. I love this clip art around it of women. This everything about this ad is perfect. This makes me love. And Solange is one of my favorite genre. This makes me love it even more. Like the fact that they squeezed every bit of money out of this dish rag that they could.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal the way they wrung this out.
Oh
The Rah Rah Girls is playful,
yeah,
but this looks sexy. Like
yeah,
you
and
would go to see it as a sex film.
there are sex scenes in this movie. It is one of the unsexiest movie. Like there are shower,
Yeah,
but it adds up to like a nihilistic blast of darkness and that's probably why I like it. This ad because it's so opposite of everything.
I know I'm not really the target audience, but I didn't think it was sexy.
No,
Like the nudity and the sex scenes in this
yeah,
were just sort of brutal.
yeah. They're just like it's. I think even like the shower scene is just kind of other than the smoking, is kind of just realistic and matter of fact. This is like a girls' school. This is what would happen. Like we need the sex scene in the beginning with the teacher has to be in there because we need to know that he's a philanderer. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like yes, it's an exploitation movie, but it is for a movie where yes, a knife ends up in someone's nether regions. It is not exploitative. It works. Like I really like the movie. Is what I'm saying. I will defend it a lot.
Yeah, I
Steve
think
said
the
it's
same is
kind of
with
vile. It is a this ad
it
is
is, yeah.
yeah.
The 15-year-old student,
We could
they
have
have to
very
remark on
easily
that.
said like 17 or 18-year-old, but this is exploitation. Teenage mother. Bill, I got to
I had to
introduce you to the. I think I have an idea for. There's a store. I have to see how much it is, but there's a software that we use for work to store photos, and you can tag multiple tags in it. That may be a future thing for you to consider.
Oh
Or
yeah, I've
where you
been waiting for something like that to come along.
yeah. I have to see if there is a like a personal version of it and what the price is, but I think having something like that where you could tag each of these photos by what movies and what theater and date would be really helpful for you. Then
Yeah.
you could just search that database. What is
Here's
this?
another Solange title.
Oh, wow.
No, it's not the Goldie Hawn movie.
Ah, okay, I love this poster because I think this gives you an idea of a better idea of what this movie is about, and also that it played with Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, which is a night at the movies.
Oh, I didn't even notice that down there in the fine
Yeah,
print.
yeah. Can you imagine seeing both of those movies? Like, you would be exhausted by the end of both of these movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Two very different films, but two very wonderful films
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Back to 79. Here's a combo for you.
When the
When the
screaming?
Screaming Stops
Yeah.
and Shriek of the Mutilated.
Oh, wow. Trick of the
Two.
Mutilated played a lot of B features, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. They really. I can't believe that they attached it to movies so late. Because
Yeah,
Shriek of the Mutilated is very dated.
yeah.
It's super dated in the early 70s. Even 79 was much further along than the fashion and the styles in Shriek of the Mutilated. But, a good movie is a good movie.
Yeah, that's
So
wild.
when the screaming stops, do you remember what movie that is?
No.
It's The Lorelai's Grasp.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, of all things, they dug that up, this Euro horror film from 1974. Armando de Osorio, who also gave you The Blind Dead
Mhm.
and The Sea Serpent, all those wonderful soft
I
monster
really need
movies.
to show the sea serpent at some point.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
We totally will show The Sea Serpent.
I think let's chase everyone off and pair it with plankton. That'll be
We
a quite a
we should
double
do
feature.
that in July.
Yeah.
Like that we'll make The Sea Serpent one of the movies we do in July.
That feels like one I should be in the pool for some of. Uh, meet
Oh
everybody
yeah, we
at
have to do
poolside.
Mike Justice's pool episode that he's
Yeah.
been asking for.
Yeah. I think that would be good.
Okay, so yeah, they put this out as marketing it as sort of a slasher, and a
Whoa.
slasher type ad campaign. On VHS, it was also called When the Screaming Stops,
Mm.
and there was literally a guy with a knife in his hand going after a girl. So, of course, it has nothing to do with the Lorelai's Grasp.
No, nothing at all.
I
What
found
was
this was really bizarre. I've never seen an ad like this for Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
This is also from 79, a reissue of in 79 with The House Had Vanished and Don't Look in the Basement.
I gotta tell you, uh, I have favorite taglines, but over the last couple weeks, "Is it too soon to talk about 72?" is one of my favorite taglines because what does it even mean?
I don't know.
Like, are we supposed to know what happens in a movie we haven't seen? Is it supposed to be like, do you know what I mean? But it's great because it makes you say, "Well, yeah, what did happen in 72?" Well, see the movie. So therefore, a great tagline. It's not as good as "By Hook, by Axe, by Pick, by Buy," which is great, or, "It's exactly what you think it is," but it's pretty good. I don't know.
The
I love it. I just looking at that ad with the
the
it's
original Chainsaw
uh,
Massacre.
right? And that's not really true. Uh, uh, uh,
Sort of. I mean,
it's
like for a
sort of,
half a second.
but also it's like who out there outside of like people like you or I were like, "Oh, it's this these are all from the same company." From that company who reminds you, "What company? Your name's not even on it, company."
You don't need to know. It's like the company in Alien.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Uh,
literally the company in Alien. They moved out of movies and kept going and going and going until they were multinational conglomerate.
Yeah, it's like Nintendo started with playing cards. The people that own the Suleco all came from Hallmark Releasing. Oh, oh,
These two.
I mean, I know you're not a fan of Eyeball, but I love it.
Well,
I
yeah, I only saw it once,
I think you
so
should see it
I'll watch
again
it
because
again.
just for the idea that this people I laugh just even thinking about it. People on this vacation have died, and the rest of the touring group's like, let's see the rest of the city.
Yeah, let's not call off the
But
tour.
yeah, Joseph Brenner, you madman. I love that Joseph Brenner's name is as big in the ad as anything else. And that and this is really like the alpha and omega of quality again. And I love it. Except, did you notice that the movies are backwards? That Suspiria starts at 7:45 and Eyeball at 9:35. Yet in the ad, they're played opposite.
Well,
The
I think the
parallel
second run
construction, as they
movie
say.
I think the second run movie usually played first,
It
and then
seems
the feature was the last thing, and then they would show the second run movie again, like, really super late sometimes.
my logic's weird. I need to see things in the same order in two places. It's a
I
writer
really
thing.
don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
it is kinda strange, I guess.
yeah. Whatever. This is a great night at the movies. I'm gonna call the brewer right now and see who answers.
Jenny is gonna answer, the one whose number used to be 867
Ah,
5309.
yeah.
She's gonna be like, "Who's calling me now?"
And as we learned a couple weeks ago, the same guy that wrote that song wrote the Huey Lewis song and "Too Beautiful to Die."
Strange how the world turns.
Oh, this movie. We played this early on too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
also another 79 classic, although it first came out in 78 in the UK,
yeah.
because this was a
I
British-American
I love this
co-production.
poster, which is like baffling bullshit visitor style poster.
Yeah,
We dare you to see Sam Elliott naked in The Legacy.
it was a dare I embraced.
Who do you think's better, Joseph Brenner or Carlo Ponti? I would say Carlo Ponti because he brought Dr. Zhivago.
Absolutely not. Joseph Brenner all the way.
I
He gave
love
us Almost Human.
Oh, he did. I love The Legacy though. It's pretty wild and pretty wacky. And that cat's face is cute. So, I'm all for
Oh,
it.
yeah, is she a nun or is she a cat?
Yeah.
She's a nun, she's a cat. She's a nun, she's a cat. I don't know, like, is she a nun or is she a nurse? She's there as a nurse, but she has something that looks like a nun's habit on, so I
Yeah.
always just called her a nun.
Yeah. Also, it's a movie where Roger Daltrey teaches us he needs to slow down and chew his food.
That was the dumbest death
Uh,
ever.
uh,
Seriously, like,
he should have
anybody
choked
know.
on beans like a Tommy callback. Oh, I love it.
Alright,
That's
so I
it.
think that's it for my ads.
Oh man, I'm super excited for this week on the site. As we talked about before, the CBS movies and BIFAN, the South Korean Film Festival. So super excited about that. Um, and I don't have any plans for August movies yet, but I do for October. But I'm not ready to reveal yet because I'm working on another big database of movies. But I'm super excited about. Eldon said The Legacy and The Sentinel would make a great double feature. I agree. We've shown
Yeah.
both of them, and the Sentinel is a movie I come back to at least once a year to rewatch. And I really wish they had made. There's a book sequel to The Sentinel, and I really wish they had filmed that too.
Oh, really? What's it
Yeah,
called?
I can't remember. It's in Paperbacks from Hell. They talk about it, but it's kind of like what it literally takes place. What happens next when she's now the Sentinel, and new people move in.
Could there, I mean, are they already looking for another Sentinel? I thought they hung around for ages.
I know, right? John Carradine's like, I was here forever.
She's not going to quit already, is she?
No, not after all the shit she went through in the last movie.
Like, look, we passed over so many other people to give you this job. You can't walk out on it now.
Yeah. I'll find it. It's in Paperbacks from Hell that they talk about it. I love that era where books become movies like that.
Lee, you wondered what shirt I was wearing tonight, so I will show you.
One of my favorite Bill shirts.
Oh, what monster could have done this?
Yes. Yeah.
Bill's out there.
Shatner double feature. We haven't shown The Devil's Reign yet, which I have a lot to say about. I was going through my movies the other
Oh, that John Travolta movie, The
Yeah.
Devil's Reign?
That Anton LaVey movie, yeah. I was going through my movies the other day, and I happened upon the Severin, one of The Devil's Reign, and I was so happy that I own it. And I just stood there and just stared at the box for like literally 5 minutes, and I felt better about myself. I was like, this movie ruined the director's career, but I still love it. I can't imagine what audiences thought when they're like, is this scene of melting people ever going to end? No, it's still going on in some theaters right now. It's still playing. There's like a super cut of just melting, just Ida Lupino melting for 4 hours, as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no problem watching Ida Lupino melt. I loved watching her get attacked by giant worms in Food of the Gods.
Oh man, that's on my list too. I'm going to be doing that one pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it. So
Oh, wow.
I gotta
Well,
see it.
spoiler alert.
I know. Like, now I'm not going to watch it because I love Ida Lupino. I don't want to see her.
I ruined it for you. Sorry.
Yeah, spoiler warning for a 55-year-old movie or 45-year-old movie. Yeah.
They don't kill her, by the way. So,
well,
she just has a confrontation with giant worms in her
How does it
kitchen.
compare to Kingdom of the Spiders? Is it better than Kingdom of the Spiders? Or
I
about
don't
the same?
know. Really, I think they are about on the same level. Except Food of the Gods has that Burt I. Gordon giant monster aspect to it. I love his stuff. He was a genius. He really was a genius, the way that he shot a lot of that stuff. And it's not real, but it looks so good sometimes. You're like, wow, he really made the most of what technology he had to work with at the time.
I like his non-giant monster movie Picture Mummy Dead a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I like Burned at the Stake.
Oh yeah, that's good too. Yeah.
AKA The Coming.
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 This wasn't Burt I. Gordon. Now in the world of adult. Henry
It should have been marketed as one, like an exploitation angle. Like, we're gonna lure like the Rah Rah Girls and Come Teach Me.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't believe they called it "Come Teach Me." I can't. Also, like, I love that ad. There were a bunch of horned up dudes that went to see it, and that's what they got was not what they wanted, which is awesome. That's one of my favorites. It's a genre in and out of itself, where you're like, "Oh, this will be great." No, it's not. I'm excited for next week. Prophecy's super big in my heart. I saw it the first time on HBO as a kid. And all I saw was the ending of it. We were like flipping through channels, and I got there right when the ending happens, and it upset. Talking about childhood nightmare fuel, Bill. I freaked.
Wow!
Just imagine having no context for what you're going to see for the ending of that movie, and just seeing it and being like knocked out by it. It just it stayed with me for a long time. And Scared to Death's pretty awesome too. So.
Scared to Death is one of my faves.
Yeah.
That was something I watched on TV as a kid, not expecting anything. And I was like, oh, this movie, like they wanted to make Alien. They were like, I'm going to make a movie that's like Alien, except it's going to be taking place on Earth and we'll make it a detective thriller.
Yeah, but that's what I dig about it.
Yeah, me too.
It's got a lot of weird stuff in it, and
It's like a xenomorph cut and pasted into some other kind of movie.
it's a kind of movie that nobody gave them input on. They're like, I mean, if that was like a big studio movie, they're like, wait a second, people are coming for Alien. You got to give them the Alien instead of like a detective fiction. No, this is the movie that we want, and that's awesome. Hey, speaking of awesome, how about all these people sticking around this late to talk about movies? So thank you guys so much. Everybody in the chat, everybody watching on YouTube, people watching this later in the future. This means a lot to both of us. I'll speak for Bill, but to have the chance to talk about movies this long is a joy and what I look forward to every week. So thank you so much for continuing to show up, and I appreciate it more than you know. So thank you.
What he said.
Yeah, and we're so excited. Obviously, Jen's book's out, as we talked about. Thanks, Jen, for being on. Replicator comes out, I think, September 29th. Look for it where you buy Blu-rays. And you can hear Bill and I think I laughed like 5 times in I pretty much laughed through a lot of that commentary because Replicator is really funny, and it's way better. When you read it, you're like, "This is going to be kind of schlocky," and it is, but it's also really funny. It's very much a Roger Corman inspired movie, and it's good, and it's got some fun stuff in it.
Didn't we do the Screaming Skull?
I think we did on one of the weeks I wasn't here. I think we may have done it the week that I was in Seattle.
Dustin Fallon was on for the
Yeah,
Screaming Skull. Yeah. So
yeah.
don't worry, Lee. It's already been done.
We should
And we're
do
not going to do it a second time.
the mask or the skull. Those would be ones I'd like to do. The mask I would like to do. Put on
The
the mask.
Skull. Yeah. The
What
Skull
do
was
good?
The Skull was another late night Pittsburgh TV movie.
We'll do the skulls and the 4 skulls of Jonathan Drake together. It'll be all skull night. I want your skulls, and we'll just play Misfit songs while we watch them.
It's all about the cranium.
Oh, it is. I'm trying to think of what really that extraterrestrial and if you guys are, if anyone's bored this week and you want to blow your mind, watch the Mummy
The Mummy theme park.
the Mummy theme park. Have you seen it yet, Bill?
No, I haven't seen it.
Honestly, if you told me this movie was shot in a closet, I would 100% believe you.
I did go look at it. I wanted to see what it was. I'm like, okay, so you want to do this on the show, and that's why I was like, we can do one,
Yeah.
but not both of these movies.
Did you see the scene where the train comes through a mummy's head?
No.
Oh my god, it's crazy. It's also a movie that posits the only way to defeat a mummy is by showing it bare breasts, which, yeah, we have not shown a 3D movie. That's why the mask would be a pretty good one.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know. We'd have to make sure everyone had glasses.
Conquest, there it would be another. That was one that aired on Chili Billy and Superhost. Yeah, that's a hard part of making sure everybody has glasses, and and then stuff like do the Dr. Tongue things throughout the movie.
I wish we could make this segment in 3D.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
The third segment's in 3D. It's like
We're gonna send you a scratch and sniff card to watch during next week's show. It's just
Odorama.
There's a Bill cigar scratch off. You do that. There's one for when Cubby comes by. It's kind of weird, like dirty, smelly dog smell. Yeah,
one has to smell like a belch.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be an upcoming episode. The Smell-O-Vision episode of.
This is a classy show. Of course, we're going to do something like that.
Yeah.
And we hope you'll come back. We hope you'll come back next weekend and watch some more fantastic films with us. Prophecy.
Yeah.
And Scared to Death.
I'm excited about Prophecy because it is a movie that is still relevant even today.
Even more so now.
Even more so. And oh man, I'm so excited. I just thought about it for a couple of seconds. I'm like, I really do like that movie. Also, another PG-70s movie, which shouldn't be.
It's more of like it's a very hard PG. I would even go as far as to say it should have been an R, and I don't know how it wasn't.
They should have thrown 1 or 2 fucks in, and it would have been You know what I mean? It would have been an R. But
There's probably like a couple frames that they had to cut out of the movie to make it PG. I don't know.
it was really sold. It was you saw in the trailer, and we'll talk about next week is the new monster movie or the next. The idea that this is going to be a like they there was a lot of like non-disclosures, and people were kept from seeing what the monster looked like.
Yeah,
Like
it was. They really wanted this to be a huge property. Of course, it wasn't.
that
Um,
seems to happen a lot. Like in this time, that and the Incredible Melting Man were both sold as like the next new monster to join like the pantheon of great monsters, and they're
yeah.
like
Well, in the case of the Incredible Melting Man, that was probably more just marketing. But with
yeah,
Prophecy, I mean, that had a big studio behind it,
yeah,
and they really wanted to compete with Alien, and it just because I think Alien just crushed it because Alien was just so well done and
yeah,
superlative that Prophecy looked pretty bad. It's you know, it's got really cheesy sort of special effects. It's campy,
hmm
and that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. It's really over the top in a couple
yeah.
of places.
It also has a great
It's a lot
poster.
of fun.
Like
Oh yeah, that poster is so awesome.
one of the best posters ever for it. So I think that's what really makes it. Scared to Death
That's what
has a
the
pretty good
monster was
poster.
supposed to look like. Like
Yeah,
it was gonna be, it was gonna look just like the poster, but then they changed it at the last minute.
yeah. It's you got to get to it. They should have. Whatever. They did what they did. I saw it a ton of times on
Yeah,
HBO, and it freaked me out every time.
you can still, it's still an enjoyable film, and we hope you'll come back next weekend and watch it with us with Scared to Death. Till then, be safe, be well, come back, hang out with us, watch fantastic films. Bye.
They weren't-
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.